Hello everybody, Imminent Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online, Shadowbringers. In the last episode, we launched our assault on Eulmore for a couple reasons. One, to just deal with Eulmore once and for all, and two, to locate the Light Warden that they were apparently harboring. So, upon attacking the city, Vothri mind-controlled the civilian populace to attack us. We held them off as we broke into the city, engaged and defeated the two jesters that we've encountered before, and then proceeded upstairs and encountered Ranjit. Had a big old battle with him, ended up defeating him, leading to his death, and then proceeded on to Vothri's chambers, where he was apparently in the process of eating several Sin Eaters. Alphino made an impassioned plea, which ultimately fell upon deaf ears because, as it turns out, according to Reen, that Vothri is in fact the Light Warden, which, given that he has the ability to control other Sin Eaters, makes sense. But he's somewhat different because he's also a man. He is a sentient being that is able to rule a city. So that's different from anything else we've encountered because, as we've seen, that Sin Eaters are basically mindless beasts. Though they do kind of retain some level of sentience immediately after their conversion, but eventually they just kind of degenerate. But obviously he was not, so there's something different going on about Vothri. But before we could really explore that, Vothri spread its wings and flew off to the local mountain, Mount Gulg, and then elevated that into the sky. So yeah, that's going to present some issues. And the first of those being how to even get there in the first place, because there is a cliff. That cliff, right there, that is a problem. And so we need to find a way to get up there. Airships are out of the question because they could be attacked by flying Sin Eaters and would be vulnerable. So we need to use the ladder, which is this structure here, to get up the cliff. Thing is, the ladder was run by Talos, which had fallen into disrepair. Of course it was. So, we need to find a solution for that. Fortunately, Chynuz, the husband of Dulia Chai, was a member of the Deadless Stoneworks, who created the Talos in Amarang. So he should have the knowledge and expertise needed to evaluate and repair any Talos that we encounter. So that's good. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to head over there, see what the situation is, and see what needs to be done to get those Talos operational and get the ladder working again so that we can get up the cliff and gain access to the rest of the map. So, that is where we're at. So, I'm going to go ahead and ride on over there. And then we'll see what we're going to get up to. That is a sizable piece of equipment. Alright, well there are the Talos, and there is Eorzea. Let's have a chat. Ayame, dost thou see yonder pair of Talos? Indeed. For a blessing, they were found to be in good repair. Master Chai prepareth to activate them as we speak. With our arcane knowledge, Yustol and I will serve as his assistants. At the appointed hour, we shall imbue the golems with ether. Others, meanwhile, attend to the ladder itself, which hath too long lain neglected. Extensive maintenance will be needed ere it can move again, as well as myriad materials with which to perform it. If thou art willing, we would prevail upon thee to procure lumber. Very well. My thanks, Yame. Directly to the south, thou will find a dry dock, then mutton yards. I've been there. Pray to see if thou canst persuade the folk there to part with some lumber for our cause. These tiles have a bit of a different design from the ones in Amarang. Alright, so go back to the dry dock there, which we've been to before last time we were in Calusia. I'll see if they're really willing to part with any lumber for the project. Alright. Eorzea? Ho there, sinner. Haven't seen you around before. New to Gate Town, I take it. If you need lumber for a shack, you've come to the right place. We can do the building for you too, though that'll cost extra. We just need some lumber. You want lumber to restore the ladder? Why in the world would anyone want to do that? If you don't have the coin, least you could do is come up with a believable excuse. But look, I'm not one to turn folk away. I'll give you your lumber if you do me a favor in return. I just finished taking stock of our supply and was about to do another round for good measure. I want you to do the counting instead, and we'll see if your total matches mine. Now, some of the lumber's lying about the yard, but most of it is kept in the storehouse. For these, you can just ask Grithil for the number. Here, I'll lend you some writing material so you can take notes. Alright, so we need to take stock of the supply of lumber at the shipyard. Alright, so let's see what we've got. We have a lumber stack here. You count 11 planks in the stack. Okay, so we're going to start with 11. Let's ask Grithil here what he's got. Taking stock for Eorzea, are you? Well, last I counted, we had 68 planks in the storehouse here. Okay. 9 of those were rotted through, though. So we tossed them out. So 68. So that brings us down to 59. Oh, Grithil, another load has just arrived. 13 planks all told, but one's damaged. It's only good for kindling now. So 12 additional planks. So that will bring us up to 71. Right then, bring the good ones here. Be sure to let Eorzea know as well. So 71 planks plus 11 we already have is 82. So how many planks does that make now? But you're writing down those numbers anyway, right? I'm sure you can work it out. And if I remember correctly, the last source of lumber is up here. You count 24 planks in a stack. So 82 plus 24 is 106. So hopefully that's the right number. If I did my math right. Done, are you? So how many planks did you count? 106. It's in the list. Aye, that's exactly what I counted. Bingo. Thanks for your help, friend. Taking stock fair puts me to sleep, but it has to be done. As promised, I'll give you your lumber. What do you need for it anyway? A ladder. You were serious about the ladder. I'll be damned. If that's the case, please let us help with the work. We're shipwrights with no ships to build, only shacks. While it's a living, we all itch to do something greater. This fellow you say is in charge. You reckon he'd mind the likes of us barging in on his project? He won't mind. Wonderful. I'll round up the lads and lasses and we'll head over to the ladder, along with all the lumber you need. Excellent. So back to Eorzea. Wondering what that noise was. All right. So let's let Eorzea know. What the situation is. Ah, thou art returned. Wert thou able to procure the lumber? Indeed. Well, well, to secure not only the material, but the eager cooperation of the shipwrights besides. Their expertise shall greatly avail our efforts. Master Chai's own efforts have not been without struggle, but he hath proven himself to be a determined soul. I doubt not that the work shall be complete ere long, and we may continue on our way once more. He probably did need a little encouragement from his wife. Though it hath been years in the making, at long last do people stand united in defiance of the world's fate, their hopes spurring us ever onward toward journey's end. Whatsoever may await us, when thou takest those final steps, I pray that it shall be with a simple smile upon thy face. Alright. Next. But prematurely do I give myself to sentimental musings. Many more pressing concerns demand our attention, not the least of which is the matter of how we might reach the mountain, detached from the land as it is. For the present, it would appear we have matters well in hand. Matters here well in hand. Perhaps thou shouldst take thine ease for a time. Thou wilt need every ounce of thy strength for the trials ahead. Okay, we'll go take a break. Over here, apparently. Yeah, my expertise lies not in construction, but in killing things.
Would you look at that? The citizens of Yulmore engaging in what can only be described as manual labor. Who would have thought it possible? Do you know the most reliable way to deal with those who stubbornly refuse to see reason? You conquer them. Crush them under heel. Such was the trusted method of Allag, and one still favored by Garlemald. But conquest is the easy part. The true challenge begins once the dust has settled, quenching the glowing embers of animosity and maintaining a semblance of peace. This requires the conqueror to treat the conquered with dignity, and the conquered to let bygones be bygones, a difficult feat to achieve. But you have achieved just that, to my considerable surprise. It's a compliment. Take it. Ah, the vibrant energy that fills the air when like-minded souls gather. To think back on that time before time, fair brings a tear to the eye. What? You thought ancient beings like us incapable of crying? Well, rest assured that if your heart can be broken, then so can mine. Back when the world was whole, we had family, friends, loves. Men knew peace and contentment, and with our adamant souls, we could live for an age. There was no conflict born of want or disparity. Our differences paled into insignificance next to all we had in common. And then there was Amaranth. Never was a city more magnificent. From the humblest streets to the highest spires, she fairly gleamed. Not that you would remember any of this.
Remember?
Never mind. The point is, the world of old was a far better place than what we have now. I believe you would like it, having witnessed the things you have. Remember, you are of the Source. Unlike the half-men here, you stand only to gain. Should you survive the remaining calamities, you will become our equal, a complete existence in a complete world. But such talk is a pleasure for later. Back to work, hero. Ah, there was one thing I had meant to ask. How well do you know the Exarch? Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl? What? Never? Even to you? How very interesting. I shall enjoy working out what it means. Until next time.
I never doubted you for a moment.
It's alive. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met in this world, I was all but spent. I never thought to wonder why until now. I think it all just got to be too much. The guilt of causing the flood. Knowing everyone hated me. But the worst thing was the solitude. Time wears you down, aye. But solitude eats away at you. It was this close to finishing me off. But as bad as it got, and as empty as I felt, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like for Emmett Selk. All of which is a long way of saying, don't make a choice that leaves you alone. Nothing is worth that. Especially not eternity.
Glad tidings, my friend. The ladder lives again.
The three of us have been invited to do the honors. Are you up for it? Of course, if you're worried that the whole thing might come crashing down, we can always find someone else. That's the spirit. Come on, then.
We rode the ladder too, my comrades and I. Once upon a time. Watched the horizon grow, and the town shrink below us. Awed and terrified in equal measure, we ascended without a word, the silence broken only by the rhythm of the gears. No one but me remembers that day. Remembers our journey and our end. Retread the path. Seek, and you may yet find.
Alright, so the ladder is back up and running. And some interesting things from that cutscene with Emmett Selk. Why would he say that we wouldn't remember the ancient city? Curious thing to say. Alright, let's talk to Alphino. And here we finally are, at top rung. The others should arrive ere long. Alphino, Ayame, come up here. There's something I need you to see. What could this be about? Alright, what's up, I say? There's a village, Ayame, over to the northeast. So there is, yet after 2 decades without the ladder in operation, I would not be surprised if such an isolated settlement had long since been abandoned. Nor I, but that was before I spied someone leave it and proceed to head in our direction, all the while trying to remain unseen. Whoever this mysterious person is, they should still be out there. Go on and take a look, Ayame. Alright, search for the mysterious person. I believe that would be our mysterious person. Hello. You have located the mysterious person. However, it seems he has likewise spotted you and hurriedly runs back to the village. Alright, there's someone, right? And they were spying on us. Personally, I don't feel comfortable not knowing who they are. What do you say we investigate? I'm curious too, I must admit, and I dare say we have a bit of time ere the others ascend. Let's settle down. Let's head to the village and see if it's indeed inhabited. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna wait for everybody else to make their way up here. Alright, so let's head on over to the village, and I'll probably call that a day there. We'll see. I guess it could probably run a little bit longer. Alright, here we are. There doesn't appear to be anybody else here, but let's check it out. You hear faint sounds from inside the building, however the door refuses to budge. Dried victuals. Food has been hung out to dry in the sun, and quite recently, by your reckoning. So there definitely does seem to be somebody here. The cups are half empty or half full, depending on how you see such things. Behind the counter, a kettle bubbles steadily over the stove. So yes, there definitely is someone here. They're hiding. What news, Ayami? Were you able to find anything of note? People are definitely still living here. Indeed. While there's no one to be seen, this this village is anything but abandoned. The villagers are trying to conceal themselves. They are doing a rather poor job of it. But if they don't wish to be seen, what are we to do? I say, aren't you the ones who saved my life? Oh yeah, it's the painter guy. You're Tristal, the artist from Yulmore. You remembered. Ever since we parted ways, I've worried for you. Bound for the city as you were, never did I imagine that we would meet again, and here of all places. How did he get here? We could say the very same to you, my friend. I'm glad to see you hale and whole, but tell me, what is this village? This is Amity, a settlement made up of those who survived being exiled from Yulmore. As I wandered the wilds, I chanced to cross paths with an inhabitant of these parts. He took me through a secret tunnel, which led to the top of the bright cliff. I've been here ever since. Life is hard, but we know a semblance of peace. Well, we did, at any rate, until Mount Gulg broke away from the earth. Then, just as suddenly, the ladder started moving again. And you feared whoever was coming up would threaten your lives. Aye, but now I see there's no cause for concern. Will you tell me what has brought you here? Give him the breakdown. So Vothri is a sin eater, and he's fled to Mount Gulg. 'Tis a strange tale, but I have no reason to doubt your words. I owe you my life. Is there anything I can do to help? You need but say the word. Your help will be most welcome, Tristal. To begin with, we request your people's permission to reconnoiter the area. If we are to confront Vrothri, we must find a way to reach Mount Gulg. Of course, you hardly need our permission to be here. I will tell the others about you and yours. Now, we haven't much to offer in the way of hospitality, but our village is at your disposal. Please use it as you see fit in your quest. Alright then. Now, the one issue here is there isn't an aetheryte in this village. But now we have side quests. Alright. Alright, yet another hapless soul that Alphinaud saved from mortal danger, I see. Some things never change. At any rate, it seems that brother has a mind to linger. Meanwhile, I have a mind for us to explore. Ayame and I are going to scout out the area. We'll be back in a while. Oh, very well. Then, just take care out there. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and proceed with this scouting patrol with Alice and see what comes of it. And then we'll probably call it a day. Because now I have some side quests to do, and now that I have access to this whole section of the map, I need to go gather up the ether currents. Alright, the path diverges. Let's split up so we can cover more ground. I'll go east if you would be so kind as to head west. We can aim to meet at the foot of the mountain, taking note of what we see along the way. In a short while, then. West it is, then. Should probably be mounted. That's alright. Alright, I am under attack. Yeah, those AoE attacks that they do are barely anything to worry about. There we go. This appears to be the kind of explore the area quest. Alright. Another destination point. And more Sin Eaters. There we are. Okay, and that one's down. Alright, we'll continue proceeding north to the base of the mountain. At least what used to be the base of the mountain. Alright, Alice.
You're a sight for sore eyes. I don't know about you, but I bumped into quite a few sin eaters out there.
Indeed.
You too, then. It seems the closer we get to Mount Gulg, the more of them there are. Looks a lot bigger from here, doesn't it? If I were Vorthri, the first thing I'd do is surround myself with as many sin eaters as I could lay my hands on. And judging by the number we've already faced, his lordship is of the same mind. This is going to be a tough climb. But first things first. We need to determine if climbing is even an option. The more I look, the less likely it seems. Y'shtola is right to be worried. But flying may be our only choice after all.
There you are. Master Alphino was afeard you had met with some misfortune.
Eorzea. And you too, Exarch. What brings you here?
I wish to observe the final struggle with my own eyes. I arrived at Bottom Rung too late to accompany you, but I was in time to join Eorzea and the others. Come, let us see how this unfolds.
Well, it seems flying is off the table.
If we have learned that much, then the Machina have served their purpose.
Ah, so that's what they were for. Wasteful, but effective.
'Twould seem our foe will not be reached by land or air. We must needs withdraw to consider another course. Master Alphino waiteth for us at Top Rung. Thither should we make our way.
Well, that, I guess, is an effective way to establish that, no, flying isn't an option. So, we'll need to come up with another plan. But, we'll go ahead and, I guess, end the episode here. And then we'll reconvene at Top Rung and discuss what the options will be. So, for now, I'll take care of some stuff on my own here, and we'll pick this up next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.